What's going on, guys? Welcome back to the Beyond the Backboard Podcast, another special episode of 2-Minute Drill. My name is Omar. Next to me is Earl, Max, and Jay. We are going to go over the red-hot Indiana Pacers, guys. Frankly, they're going crazy. I can't hate it at all. Tyrese Haliburton doing everything to put this team on his shoulders. Not to mention, Andrew Nembhard has been a hell of a player. But to start this off today and to start off the 2-minute timer, we're going to pass it off to Max. And that's like the fifth week in a row that it's happened like this, but we're going to let it go. It might have been. I really don't understand it, but it's okay. 3, 2, 1, go.
Listen, y'all know me. I got a lot to say. And I'll say a lot here about the Pacers because they deserve a lot. They deserve a lot of credit. I think they're probably the most underrated team in all of basketball right now. Coming into these playoffs, I think most people, including myself, didn't really see them getting past. I think there were a lot of doubts whether they could get past the first round even. Certainly, I don't think anyone saw them making another conference finals run this year. But having made it last year, now they steamrolled the Bucks in 5. Granted, there was no Lillard. Now they beat the 64-win Cleveland Cavaliers, with Donovan Mitchell, with Evan Mobley only missing 1 game, Garland missing 1 game. This team is legit, and Tyrese Haliburton deserves a lot of credit. He's now been the best player on back-to-back conference final teams in the Eastern Conference, which a lot of players can't say. I mean, you're looking at a very short list of teams that have made back-to-back conference finals in the last couple years. I mean, you think about the Celtics, you think about the Heat. This Pacers team is right up there with them. So, and Haliburton is the engine of this team, scoring the ball, facilitating, just making winning plays, holding it down for them, getting things done when they needed to get done, especially in Game 5 when they were down by 19. He led that comeback. So shout out to him. Pascal Siakam does not get talked about much, but he has been incredible for this team. Ever since they got him, that was really the turning point for this Pacers team. He's just a Swiss Army knife. Like, he's doing anything they need him to do, whether it's scoring, whether they need him to just be a pick setter, play solid defense, roll to the basket, clear boards. He's a Swiss Army knife. He does everything. And then from them down, you just get solid contributions from guys like Obi Toppin, Benedict Mathurin. Having him this playoffs is huge for them. TJ McConnell, Thomas Bryant coming off the bench hitting threes. Miles Turner's been a Pacer since before most of us were born, and he still has not missed a shot. I've never seen that man miss a three-pointer. So,
you know what? There's some validity to that one, I have to say.
Carlisle deserves a ton of credit. I think people are not talking about how good of a job he's done coaching this team. And honestly, I don't know if the Pacers are going to stop here. They got a great future.
Done. All right. Okay, so we're going to pass it off to me here, my 2 minutes. I completely agree with Max here. Almost everything he said, he kind of hit it right at the nail on the hammer and stuff like that. But with all this being said, all this positivity going about the Pacers, there's 2 things that I want to warn both teams that are currently up in both series. So first off, I like to take my time about things. The Pacers are already in the conference finals. They're doing well. They're doing well. They're on a hot streak. They just beat the number 1 team in the league. If the Knicks see them in the conference finals, it's going to be something to talk about. But that series is going to be a disappointment for a lot of people. I'm just going to say that. But to get back on the Pacers really quickly, but again, they have been playing amazing basketball. Tyrese Haliburton facilitating. Obi Toppin, given the role that they kind of expected to get out of him. And Ben Mathurin has been one of those players his whole career where he could score. He is capable of scoring a lot of points during the game, but he's also capable of scoring like 8. And then he'll go on ice cold streaks. And then he won't play good. And then you see Rick Carlisle like, all right, let's go. Come on, get out. And then you set him for the rest of the game because he's not playing well. So I'm going to look for Ben Mathurin to really be an X factor in this series against the Knicks coming up too. But
maybe the Knicks.
Yes, you're right. Maybe the Knicks. But we never know what's going to happen. But maybe the Knicks. And I can see the rest of my time. I got about 15 seconds left. That's all I got to say. Who we got next? All right, go for it. Go for it, Jay.
So I had the Pacers in 6 in this series, as I talked about with Earl on my podcast. Didn't expect 5. The Pacers look even better than what I thought they already were. They just look faster than every team that they play. And the Cavs, a team that also is a very pacey team, they outpaced them. Even though they were battling injuries with Mobley's ankle, Garland's toe, Mitchell had the ankle injury. I don't think that would have helped them at all. Even if they were fully healthy, they just look more cohesive than the Cavs as a team. Cavs defense fell apart. Even with their guys on the court, defense did not look the same with the defensive player of the year, which is pretty surprising. But like Max said, Tyrese Haliburton is just the spearhead to this well-oiled machine right now. I mean, everybody's willing to pass the ball. Nobody has an ego on this team. Sometimes they get the Mathurin game. Sometimes they get the Nembhard game, the Siakam game, Miles Turner game. Like how Earl said, he just doesn't miss threes at this point. But I think Rick Carlisle needs more respect as one of the best coaches in the last 10 to 15 years. You saw him take a very underrated Mavs team to the finals, win a championship against LeBron and D Wade. You're seeing him get to his second straight conference finals with a team who we keep underrating, we keep disrespecting. I mean, we called Haliburton, well, not we, NBA called Haliburton the most overrated player in the league, even though it's like a 93 player poll. But it's definitely something to talk about. I'm very excited for this team. Even if they play the Knicks or the Celtics, Celtics aren't completely out of it yet, but not looking good. I think the Knicks have some trouble, man. This team is fast. This team is gritty. They have Ben Mathurin now get into some scrums. That's all he really does. Him and James Johnson is ready to fight people. But I have really high hopes for this Pacers team next round. I think they can upset the Knicks. I'm not setting it in stone yet, but it's just what I'm seeing right now with them. But definitely a team to look out for, and I'm tired of disrespecting. I'm tired of underrating this team.
It's on. The timer's up.
Yeah.
Sorry, the timer's up. That was just funny. Earl, carry on.
Yeah, I'll just start by ending with what Jay said. It's not actually. You know what? I'm not gonna give them any conversation in this topic. Shout out to the Pacers, man. I think they played an incredible round. Like we all talked about here, I think we all agree they've been underrated pretty much this whole year. I know last year when they acquired Pascal Siakam, I didn't personally know how well he was going to fit in the future of this Pacers team. But after a year of kind of developing that chemistry and getting the role players to kind of settle into their new spots on the team, things look great. Like you said, maybe it's Andrew, maybe it's Macklin, Ben, maybe it's Obi Toppin getting a game or two in there. They have a good mix of role players who don't all have to go off at the same time, but they're all capable of having good games. And if you have like two of those guys have a good game, plus Tyrese is out there, plus Miles Turner is having his moments, then it's a really hard team to beat. And we talk about pace. They're a fast team. They like to get out on the break. They run a fast offense. Tyrese Haliburton is kind of the hub of all of that. Defense, offense, he's making plays. Even on nights where he's having his worst offensive games, he's out there playmaking. Like, he's keeping the game in the right form. And we can talk about his impact to close games. He's been one of the best closers we've seen in the playoffs, collectively, with a couple other people, of course, on other teams we can talk about on a different episode. But yeah, I think Tyrese Haliburton is a big reason why these teams are playing great. And shout out to the Pacers, man. Like, a lot of people count them out with Cleveland having a historic season. And I seen the memes Max Drew sending a text apparently saying, if you don't believe, don't show up. And then
it was an in-person thing. It was an in-person thing.
He didn't show out. Yeah, he shot 0 for 9 from the field,
7.
which was crazy. So yeah, I just feel like overall, I like the Pacers, man. I don't know who they're playing yet. Obviously, the favorites are the Knicks, but we'll see what happens.
All right. So let's go into 2 minutes collective thoughts here. Y'all, I said it in my tweet this morning, and you know what? I'm going to give the Pacers respect here because they have been upsetting a lot of teams here. Look, in the game of basketball, we play the weakness game. And what happened to be the weakness of the Cleveland Cavaliers has been the speed of the Indiana Pacers. It kind of combats that perfectly with their well defense and structured team and their double big lineups. That's something that's consistent and can hold up throughout time. Now, the one thing that I'm going to give y'all here is the fact that the Pacers have been playing good. Everything else about the Knicks, y'all, let's pump the brakes a bit. No Julius Randle last year. No OG. Hold on. No Julius Randle here.
You take up the whole 2 minutes, man.
Okay, I'll just make it 2 more seconds here. The Knicks didn't have anybody last year. We should just relax on how we talk about the Knicks here. Let's just relax. Let's just calm down.
I mean, just
I'm
looking
just
at the
go ahead.
Pacers, I think they're maximizing what they can do. Like this is, I
100%.
don't think they have as much talent as like just raw talent as Cleveland or Boston or even New York. But the fact, I mean, Jay and Earl brought it up, like they're playing as a unit. They are probably one of the best teams in the NBA right now, top to bottom, just in terms of how they play and their unselfishness. They have a system. They have a way they play. They have a leader. They have, a runner-up in Siakam. And top down, their role players are consistent. They know what to do. So I don't see why they can't make the finals. I'll be honest.
Yeah. And I'll just throw in my 2 cents. Like, you even got guys like TJ McConnell who, like we say, just random role player. No, I'm not even going to call him random, but I mean, like, in the aspect of the Pacers, they have role players on this team who can randomly have a great game. Like, TJ's capable of having a great offensive game, but every single night he's going to hustle. That's the floor of TJ McConnell.
Real quick before we end, Max, I'm sorry I got to cut you off here. Jay, I want you to get your last thoughts in before we have to end off here. What do you think's going on?
So, yeah, like, even banking on what Earl said in his 2 minutes on the Pacers, if Haliburton can even have his worst 2 games of the series, he has 16 points in 2 games combined, you're still getting wins because you're getting contributions from Miles Turner, Siakam, Nembhard. Nesmith had 13 and 13 yesterday. This team just does it all, man. Everybody picks up each other's slack. Everybody has each other's backs, and there's no egos, man.
All right, guys. All right, guys, we got to end off here. Thank you guys so much for tuning in on this episode of 2 Minute Drill. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. And if you guys want to see this episode 2, 3, 4, even 5 days early, come to the playback channel Beyond the Backboard Podcast, where we're going to be here live. And if you guys want to be here, pull up. Thank you guys so much. Appreciate every single one of you guys. Peace.
Peace.